So we have a little bit of breaking news. Rogelio Notice has filed for dismissal of the Geoff Payne lawsuit just this morning, without prejudice, which basically means that it's not dismissed forever. The person who, filed the case can totally try it again. Typically, it's in a different jurisdiction, or it just depends on what Rogelio Notice wants to do. So this doesn't really close this forever. I hope that that's the case for Geoff Payne, but we don't know. So I'm going to show you guys those documents right now. Shout out to everybody that gave me the heads up on this. And I wanted to do a quick little video. It's only 2 pages of a filing, so this shouldn't be too long. I know that Rogelio Notice had filed like some other, paperwork that honestly is just a repeated copy and paste version of the complaint. And, we're not going to do videos repeating the same thing that he has said. I don't know who's writing his material. I mean, clearly it's his attorney, but it's just repeat, copy and paste of the same stuff in every complaint. I'd rather just get to the source and not have to repeat myself because it drives me crazy. Let's get into this new motion here. Okay, so this is what we have filed. Plaintiff notice of voluntary dismissal without prejudice. So the rule is listed. Federal Rule Procedures. Plaintiff Roger Luis Norris hereby gives notice that the above caption action is voluntarily dismissed without prejudice, which means that he can refile again. This notice is being filed before defendant. This notice is being filed before defendant and has served either an answer or motion for summary judgment, thereby entitling plaintiff to dismiss the action without prejudice as of right and without court order. And they list a case there for review, which grants a plaintiff an unconditional right to dismiss his complaint by notice without an order of a court at any time prior to the defendant's service of an answer or motion for summary judgment. Listen, I don't know what this means. I don't know what made Rogelio Notice make this. Maybe he's going to file it somewhere else. We just don't know. And I'm going to be honest with you. This situation has been a bit unpredictable because of the different characters that are going on. I heard on Twitter, and again, I don't have any receipts for this or anything, that Kate Cassidy was rumored to have, possibly sue Geoff Payne. I'm not really sure why, like the audacity, if that were to happen. I don't think that it would, but if it did, this is what I heard, allegedly, in my opinion, that that's what's going to happen. We just don't know. My hope is that for Geoff Payne specifically, is that, Rogelio Notice dismisses this and doesn't refile. Geoff Payne has not given me the impression that he's going to go out and talk to a bunch of media sources and stuff like that. The man did not even do that. Like, I feel really bad for Liam's dad right now and his family, clearly because of the huge loss, but also because of like then being hit by a lawsuit. Like, that is crazy to me. And the filings before that, because I know you guys were telling me, well, Rogelio submitted more stuff. And again, it is just copied and paste, repeated information. This is going to be a hardship, I think, of a lawsuit for Geoff Payne, honestly, because I think that, it's the planning, it's the attorneys, the fact that Liam died in Argentina, the fact that he's had to travel over there a couple times. I mean, to me, like, people assume that, a rock star, a movie star, a celebrity dies. And then suddenly people come up with all this money. Guys, there's the estate, there's lawyers, there's things in between. Sometimes families pay out of pocket. And I get the sense that Geoff Payne is one of those individuals who's very kind of humbled, private, and just really wanted to get, the support for his son, and did what he had to do and was trying to be supportive. I don't get the feeling that Geoff Payne is a vindictive kind of person. Roger Norris says, I'm going to dismiss this lawsuit here in Florida. I don't know what it means. I don't know if he's going to refile somewhere else. I don't know. And I have a lot of questions and a lot of theories, and a lot of speculation about why he would have just suddenly dismissed this. He just responded. And actually, in the minute orders, it said that he was set to, when he submitted his response to Geoff Payne's wanting to dismiss this lawsuit, I mean, there was a couple of responses that he made, right, to oppose this. Well, why would Rogelio Notice oppose this? And they were due to reply. Geoff Payne was due to reply on the 14th of April. Okay, so there's that. There's a couple of things and dates that we have here in the minute orders. And I know it's a lot, like, I'm not an attorney, but I've been reading minute orders for quite some time, some of which I can decipher very well, and some of which is just so hard to read and understand. And I have to, tap into my lawyer friends. But I will say that, like, it just seems kind of sudden, maybe strategic, or maybe he just had a complete change of heart and he said, no, I don't want to burden Geoff Payne and his family with this, because either way, it's going to cost. A lawsuit is going to cost Rogelio. He said so. He even made it sound like him, suing would also be a hardship for him, right? That's what he said, even though he claims to have a lot of money. He says, like, if he sues in Argentina, if he takes his case in Argentina, which he says civilly, he has no familiarity with the laws there. The hardship of having to fly people down there, the people that he would have to depose, everyone, which I have to kind of wonder too, like when he showed when he showed the notes for Liam Payne, right? These notes that that he said Gonzalo, had in his house, which Gonzalo wasn't there, right? These were notes that apparently, Geoff Payne left behind, and these were supposed to be treatment notes. These are not treatment notes, guys. Like, this is a big nothing burger. Honestly, this was, if you look at this, these just looks like notes. Maybe they look like goals. Maybe, Geoff Payne had a conversation with Liam and, tried to, kind of outline maybe a goal map or something like that, or try to outline maybe moments that Liam might have had that, he was trying to have a conversation with the son about. These notes right here mean nothing because they don't have enough context. Now, if they were treatment notes, therapy notes, you would have, a treatment plan, a breakdown. It would look a lot more different. Treatment goals, behaviors and action plans that would happen, right? If these were actual treatment notes, these are just notes. They mean absolutely nothing. They might mean something to Geoff Payne, but in the long run, right? Like in the bigger, scope of therapy, this isn't it. And I have to wonder if they house Liam in Gonzalo's home and property, who with some, medical staff there, who told them that this was a good idea? Who said that this was a good idea? I don't think that it was. And I know, like, when a family member is in need of help and support with substances or mental health, or has a dual diagnosis, which means both, right? The only buy-in and the only support that family could provide is to be there and be present when they're going through the therapy and the treatment. It is never okay to put family in a position, put family, friends, financial advisors, or people that have like a buy-in into somebody's career in between all of this, or even somebody's house to be used that way. Everybody needs to be in an independent situation or facility or something where nobody is going to benefit from anything other than the person that's going to get that treatment. That would have been the best way to have dealt with this situation. I personally, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not, but in bad spirit, in my opinion. And maybe this is kind of like a cultural thing that I'm coming from, but it's just in bad taste to go after your best friend, okay? And I'm gonna say it like this because I feel like his role was a lot bigger, in my opinion. It's in bad spirit, bad for you to go after your best friend's dad after your best friend dies. Like, everything that has happened has marked this family forever. From the time that Liam Payne became famous and he was, in the competition singing show, to he became this One Direction pop star, like everything that has worked up to that, you know what I mean? Like everything. And there are things that Geoff Payne and his family are going to have to go through, right? His son, his son will not have a father. And I'm telling you, I saw a couple of pictures of his son recently, and it's like seeing young Liam Payne, like it's just so sad to me. So I really hope that Rogelio doesn't file again, but I don't know. I don't know what Rogelio's strategy is going to be here. Personally, I feel like he doesn't, he's about himself and his money. Okay. He always is like that, in my opinion. And I think that, and that's just my opinion. I hope that, maybe Rogelio had he was touched by an angel and he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I mean, he could refile somewhere else, but he could say, I'm not going to do that. I'm hoping, but I don't know. I don't know. And it's a little bit hard because I feel like Rogelio, in my opinion, you know, had a lot of responsibility. That's just my opinion in Argentina. I don't know that for a fact. I only know what's been reported and what's been shared. But in my opinion, it seems like he played a bigger role. And I just hope that this doesn't get refiled somewhere else. That's my thought on that. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think, like, I'm hoping for the best. But let me just say, it's very hard to talk about the LIAM Payne case because there's a lot of emotion there. And then I see, Maya Hendry, or I see Kay Cassidy, and they're doing the most, or I see a Rogelio Notes interview, and I just really want to literally vomit. Like I have a reaction because it just doesn't sit well in my spirit about the things that have happened. And when that happens, I tend to kind of like, I have to sit there and observe everything, every moving part. But that is the news that we have for today. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and share. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.